Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you a review of these. It's a gaming headset from Billboard. Now these, I just had to pick up. Let me tell you that right off the bat. When I saw these in the store, I just couldn't believe the price. And to be honest, I couldn't believe if they would be any good or not. These are $15. Yes, let me say that one more time. $15 at a Family Dollar store. Once again, they are from a brand called Billboard, you know, like Billboard magazine. And they do claim that these are a gaming headset. Now, this is what they look like. The microphone does fold down. It's only on the left side. It doesn't bend the other way or twist the other way. It only comes down one way, okay? So just bear that in mind. It is non-flexible, so it's fixed. The only way you can adjust it is up and down. That is it, okay? It's another thing to keep in mind. They are extremely lightweight. When I have them on, it's literally like I'm not wearing them. There's virtually no weight on there. I mean, you can feel them. There's a slight bit of weight, but compared to like the higher priced or higher dollar type of gaming headset where you pay, I don't know, let's just say 50 bucks and more, because those always tend to weigh a bit more. These don't. And after testing these, I kind of figured out why. There's no noise canceling function on these at all. The only kind of noise canceling you're going to get is from the foam pads. So when you put them on, it cuts out quite a bit of the outside surrounding noise, but that's it. It doesn't cut it out a whole lot, but it does cut it down sufficiently for you to hear through the headphones themselves. But that's really about it. I wouldn't even call it noise isolating. It's just due to the padding. I mean, like if you were to put your hands over your ears, you know, cup your ears, that's kind of like how these will work. Now, they are comfortable though. I will give them that so far. They are very comfortable. I've had them on for 4 or 5 hours. Not once did it, you know, squeeze my head too hard to the point where it hurts. Like I said, I really didn't notice that they were on my head, so I didn't get that neck fatigue feeling when, you know, a headset is just too heavy. I didn't get that at all. One thing I did get out of these is because of the fake leather material that they use. Obviously, for 15 bucks, they're not going to use the best material. Was a little bit sweaty, a little bit warm on the ears. So every now and then, you know, I kind of, you know, did one of these here and there, and that was it. The other thing I want to point out before I really get into these, when I first put them on, just your ear cups, well, first let me show you that. They don't tilt, they're fixed. The only thing that moves is the adjusting band for length. So there's no rotation on the cups at all. So when I got them fit, they wanted to fit like a V on my head at first. After using them a couple of times, the plastic kind of loosened up a little bit, so it wasn't so much of a V on my head. Also, the other thing I did to help out quite a bit, once I knew right where I wanted them to sit, I took my hands and I pressed in a few times like that, you know, pressing in. And that kind of helped straighten them up a lot more, so it fit my head, my contour of my head a lot better. Maybe it's because I have an oblong head, I'm not sure. But basically what I'm really trying to say is the bottom of the ear cup was pushing in more than the top. So I felt more pressure here than I did on top. But after I did that, where I set them on and I did a few good pushes, not really hard pushes, but enough to the point where you can feel it squishing a little bit on your head. once I did that a few good times, they actually fit really, really nice. And that's what it looks like with the microphone down. Let me get a little closer to the camera. So you do get some distance between from your mouth to the microphone. And like I said, you can only go up and down with it. This is down all the way. Okay. You do get a nice long cord with it. I'd say it's probably about a good 5.5 to 6 foot long. And if you look closely, it is braided. Let's see if the camera will focus in on that. It is braided with a nylon cover. It's not that cheap vinyl plasticky junk that normally comes with these things that are so low cost. So that's a good thing. The other thing I want to point out is if you look, come on, don't focus on my face. I don't know if it's going to focus in, but the post is a TRRS post on this, meaning you got the 3 little black lines on the post. The good thing is you do get an adapter like that where you just simply plug it in, but these only have the 2 black lines on it. Let's see, will it focus in on this? Sorry folks, it's been a while since I used my Panasonic G6, so I gotta get reused to it. But this one has the 2 black lines in it as opposed to the 3, so you can use it even for listening for music. I plugged it into my Apple iPod and my Microsoft phone and my Nexus 7 and even my laptop, and I got really good sound out of it. So depending upon what device you're using, it's nice to have this little adapter. And each one of these is separated. One will have the little headphone symbol on it. The other one will have the microphone symbol on it. So make sure you know which one you're going to plug in, okay? And just from that little bit of time I've been talking to you, my ears were a bit warm from just wearing these. So I'm just letting you know. If you buy these and you end up liking how they sound, and especially the microphone, one thing I would probably suggest you do is maybe poke a couple of holes, not just in the face part, but maybe some of the sides to get it breathing a little bit. But don't punch too many holes in, because the more you punch in, the more you're going to ruin the cover, this black covering, and that'll start peeling and coming off, and that's not really good. But that's up to you. I'm not going to do that at all. I'm just going to leave them alone and just wear them, because at my age I don't game for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time anymore. You know, hour and a half is tops for me, and I can stand a little bit of warm ears and for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending upon what I'm doing. There's no lights in them. It's non-Bluetooth. It's strictly a wired system. The remote control on this is just way too big for the set of headphones. This is your mute switch for the microphone, okay? Which one is it? In the up position like it is right now, that means the mute is on. You push it downwards and the mute is off. Just above the switch is the volume wheel for the volume for the headphones. Doesn't control the volume for the microphone at all, at least not in my testing it did. And well, that's pretty much about it. As for sound quality, like I said, these are like your very, very basic type headphones, okay? You're not going to get sound like from Turtle Beach or a pair of Sonys or something like that. But they are pretty good. Don't get me wrong, they do reproduce the sound and bass very convincingly. The bass is there, it is noticeable, and it's not overpowering. The mid-range does punch through the mix really nicely. The high ends, they're there. Not overpoweringly. It's almost as if the high end is slightly below the mid-range on these. So they did a really nice way of tuning these. So if you're just gonna use them to, say, listen to music, I think you're going to enjoy them. Playing the game, that's gonna be up to you whether you like it or not. When I was playing my games, I played mainly Fear 1, 2, and 3. I kind of really do like that game. I also played some Halo, and one of my favorite games of all time is Half-Life. I played with these on, and Doom. Got to admit it, I loved all the Dooms. It came through really nice. I mean, I heard what was supposed to sound like being surround sound, like it was all around me. You heard like if someone was coming up over here on the right hand side, you can kind of hear it. So I mean, it's not like $100 pair of headphones. I'll tell you that right now. It's not $100 set of gaming headphones. So do not expect that kind of quality out of these. But for a little kid, if you just need a gaming headset really quick, if you're really rough on your headsets, these will be perfect for you. I mean, they're not bad. I'm not going to knock them. I'm not going to say don't buy them. They do have some worth to them. And for me, for the little amount of gaming I actually do, they're perfect. Are they like the Osdom gaming headsets I reviewed earlier? No, those were superb. But these will definitely get the job done. You can hear nice and clearly through it. Like I said, the bass is not muddy at all. Nowhere near being muddy. It was nice and clear. You do get a little bit of a thump from it, from the bass tuning on these, which is really nice because when you turn them up loud enough, you can kind of feel the vibrations on your ear and in your head a little bit. So that's really nice. I do like that. And like I said, the mid-range punches through really nicely. So I heard vocals when I listen to music. And during the game, you know, when there's a whole lot of explosions and shooting going on and someone's yelling or dying and screaming, you can clearly hear that. The high end, like I said, seems like it's just underneath that mid-range. So it's not going to pierce your ears, okay? Now, getting back to just using these as a set of headphones, the sound quality I found really does depend upon your device. When I plugged these into my iPod Touch 5, they weren't as bassy. I'll be honest, straight up with you. They just were not. I had to go and play with some settings to get them sound better. When I put it in my Microsoft phone, my Lumia 640, had a perfect sound the way I like it, where it's well-rounded, not too much bass, not too much high-end, and you know, just the right amount of mid-range. When I plugged them into my Nexus 7 tablet, well, I think the Nexus 7 had the worst sound out of them all. I'm not blaming the headphones, I'm blaming the device. Because that does make a difference. Your device does make a difference because each single device is individually tuned and EQ'd. When I put it in the Nexus 7, first off, I got a lot of static. Okay, there was a lot of static coming through. Especially at higher volumes, you'd hear that low-end hiss coming out, you know, the shh. I would hear that more through the Nexus 7 tablet. Then the second place would be the iPod Touch. And to be honest with you, I didn't hear any of that low-end hiss from my Lumia 640. Didn't hear it at all. When I had these plugged into my laptop, I did get a really nice, well-rounded sound through it. The bass came through really nice and strong and everything. But yet again, when I cranked up the volume on the laptop all the way, that hiss came in. So what I did, and I played around quite a bit, is I turned up the volume on the laptop all the way, and slowly backed off on the wheel here, you know, for the headphones, to get the better sound that way. Instead of having these up all the way, I had the laptop up all the way. And that's how I was able to get a better sound from it. So that's my advice right there so far on the headphones. Now I'm going to pause the video right now, and what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to plug just the microphone into this camera, and you can hear what these sound like. Okay, so this is the box the Billboard Gaming headset comes in. And it's kind of confusing a little bit because, for one thing, it says for use with PS3 and Xbox 360. But it's a 3.5mm pair of headphones. Also, so just take a look at that, alright? Also, there's no actual specifics written anywhere on the box or on the instructions on the inside. So I don't know how big the speakers are inside each ear cup. I don't know how long the cable length is. It is non-Bluetooth. It's strictly a cableized set of headphones. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But then again, just also bear in mind, these were $15, okay? But also it does tell you a little bit of stuff about it. It tells you it has a microphone with instant mute control, enhanced bass, lightweight, and durable fabric cording. And here it just tells you a little bit. It says Billboard knows music best. Blah, blah, blah. And in the back it tells you kind of like what you get on the inside. And on this side, really nothing else either. So let's open this up and see what you get. Yes, I've already had this out for testing. And this is it. First of all, you get this little rinky-dinky piece of paper to tell you a little bit about the operation, and that's really it. And then it tells you about the limited warranty. Of course, you do get the headset itself. Let me get that out of the way. One of the good things that I liked that it came with is this little adapter. I'll get to that more in a moment. And of course you get the headphones themselves. It is not listed left or right, but to be honest, the microphone is dead set on the left hand side because it only comes down like this, and if you try pushing it going this way, it doesn't go. It stops right there and comes down. So that's on the left hand side. So is the cable, which does feel like a nice fabric surrounding the wire instead of some kind of cheap plastic stuff. So it doesn't feel bad. Very minimal amount of cushioning up here for the headrest. And, you know, it's not a bad foam here in the ear cups. My ears did get a little sweaty in these, so it's not necessarily the best. And this is I don't know, probably that fake leather stuff, that really cheapy stuff. But like I said, for $15, it's not bad. And of course, there's cloth on the inside and a little bit of mesh for the speakers. And let me unwind this, get this out. Let me show you the control here. Kind of big. This is the mute. Right now, it's in the off or on position. Now that's on the off position for the microphone. You can mute the microphone. This just above the switch is the volume control for the headset. One thing I found funny, right here they give you a plastic cover, right, for the post, but on the adapter they don't give you any. Now this is the difference. If you notice, this is a TRRS post, right? Well, you get the adapter to cut it down. See the difference? It's nice that they give you the adapter. I'll give you that. But it would have been nicer if they would have put these little covers, cheap plastic covers, for these as well. But they don't. Now these are comfortable. They're very lightweight. You can barely tell that they're on. I'm being dead serious. You can barely tell that you are really wearing these just due to the weight alone. They do not pivot at all. Each ear cup is fixed. Okay, there's no lights, no nothing. But they are adjustable on each side. And they are pretty nice and tight. Well, that's it for the unboxing part. Let's take you back up and I'll hook up the microphone to the camera and you can hear what they sound like. Okay, so now I actually have the microphone plugged into my Panasonic Lumix G6 right now, and this is the audio coming from just this microphone. Now what I'm going to do, you got to make sure first off that this is turned on to the on position, okay? As you turn it off, that obviously means microphone is off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk, maybe even ramble a little bit here, and then I'm going to click to the off button here and we'll see what happens. So here we go. I'm testing the on. And right now I just turned the microphone back on and I really hope it's coming through so you can truly hear what this microphone sounds like. Now, I told you how much it cost, $15. Told you how they feel on the head and how to kind of adjust a little bit. Told you about the sound, how it sounds to me, which is a really basically well-balanced sound experience. And now you're actually getting to hear what the microphone sounds like from this. So, you be the judge. Is $15 good enough for a set of gaming headphones? You decide. And until the next video, you have a fantastic day.